It is a rule of Nick's picks. If it is Mike Tomlin in a divisional game and I am getting at least a field goal, it is an auto fire. I'm getting 3 points with the Steelers. We know it's going to be close.
Yeah.
This game is going to be 18-16 or some stupid score that shouldn't exist in football with 5 minutes left. Every single one of these Steelers games plays out the exact same way. I'm getting the 3 points. Pittsburgh just lost. It bounced back. Meanwhile, the big news out of there this week was, hey, we got ping pong tables. I don't know about that. Ping pong Thanksgiving, a lot of distraction in Cincinnati. I'm getting the better coach, the better defense, and I'm getting 3 points. So Chicago catching 10.
Wow. All right. That is interesting. I mean, we know that Nick has not really been a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially led by none other than Russell Wilson. I don't know if it's just more of like a mathematical thing or if it really is, dare I say, a belief in what the Steelers have been doing. It's hard to imagine that is actually the case because I just, I'm not seeing him turn the corner on who the Pittsburgh Steelers are. But this is a big win for this, this is a big game for the Steelers because they have that lead. They have that spot where they can really start to lock up the division and also take care of any potential tiebreaker type situations and all of that. So beating the Bengals is really important. And quite frankly, we'll see. I mean, I assume the Chiefs will beat the Raiders on Friday. I'm making this video before that day, before Friday. And so I would say that even if the Chiefs do end up winning that game, which again they should, obviously, like the number 1 seed is still in play. You know it is. It's you need a little bit of luck. The Steelers obviously need to keep winning, but it still is technically in play. It really is. That top seed is still potentially there for the taking, depending on how these next few weeks come out. So getting a game like this, being able to beat the Bengals on the road, would be a really important game from not only winning the division, seeding, right, getting some home field advantage potentially. So there's just a lot at stake here. There's a lot to ride. Not to mention, you had a tough loss. You want the bounce back. You want to be in a situation where any losses you can essentially just pass off as outliers. And that any of the real games that everything is really kind of like all in, let's go, you come away with the win. You can really build off of that and really use those other losses not as doubt, not to to sow seeds of doubt. It would not really need to be there. You now go to the Bengals and you drop, let's say, even if it is a weird game like Nick is saying, where it's like a bizarre score, 18-16 or something, like it is one of those things where you then can start to question, okay, like who are the Steelers? And I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying like you could start to have more of those discussions. If the Steelers just go on the road and take care of business, then you could start to be more and more confident with who this team is, what they are, what they can achieve, and talk about their wins not being outliers, but their losses being outliers. That to me it goes a long way. And when you look at some of these other teams, and I know it's divisional and all that type of stuff, I get it. But it's, again, if you looked at see like what the Eagles did versus the Bengals, what the Commanders did versus the Bengals, like we know that you can take care of it. And when we saw what the Ravens were able to do offensively against the Bengals, but the big thing is that the Ravens defense is obviously much ado about nothing, and the Steelers are supposed to have that defense locked and loaded. So we know the Bengals defense is not good at all, and we know that the Bengals offense is legit. This is where you kind of get to put your money where your mouth is for the Steelers. Show that offense can absolutely pick apart. If you got some weaknesses on defense, that the Steelers and Russ and company can absolutely pick it apart, and show that you know what that defense is for real. Our defense is not just predicated on beating like old, slow, young, whatever quarterbacks, that we can actually get after it and disarm a high-powered offense And I just think it really sends a message not only to your locker room, like, because again, on one side you can be like, the Bengals, what are they doing this year? Nothing. But I just think that the narrative that can be constructed and the lessons that can be learned can actually be a lot more prominent, right? You take care of things offensively, it shows. Yep, you give us an inch, we will just barrel through. And okay, you think you got a good offense? Well, guess what? We have a top defense. Come see me. Let's meet in the middle and see what happens. To me, that's what the Steelers are in a position to be able to say. Because also, I think if you're a Steelers fan or just the Steelers in general, like you're looking at this and you're like, the Bengals? The Bengals? Like what? They're favored? We're underdogs? Like we're the one that's leading the division. We're the top team. Don't tell me about this home field nonsense. Get out of here. Like we're the Steelers. Look at the spread for the Chiefs versus Raiders. I mean, like it's like the Eagles versus Commander. I mean, I don't know. Just be like, what? Like what? Are you serious? Like I feel like that should make the Steelers angry. I really, really do, and I think that should like have them kind of play with a chip on their shoulder. So I don't know. Maybe there's like some Thanksgiving nonsense that I'm unaware of, like where the Steelers are all just going to be, fat and fed and all sleepy. But like it's just this to me is where the Steelers should be like, all right, let's time to step up. We're deep in the season right now. We take care of these games. We take care of these teams that are incomplete. If you're going to beat us, you better be a complete team. You better have a legit offense and a legit defense. None of these half-measured type teams. And it's time to get to work. So that's what I'm excited to see what the Steelers can do and what they continue to evolve in. Because if they win this game convincingly, then I think that can go a really long way. If they lose this game, even a weird close loss, like I would be kind of like, what can the Steelers be? And even if they win a close game, and again, I'm not saying that they have to blow out the Bengals, but if they do end up winning a game like 18-16, yeah, again, we can chalk it up to being a weird divisional game and things of that nature, but it's just my expectations of what the Steelers should be able to do is a lot higher than that. So I just think a team like the Bengals, they should be able to take care of them. Just the way I look at it. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Bengals and actually being underdogs? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.